I've been working at Riverbanks probably a little over 30 years now. I mean, obviously when I was a kid, I was always into reptiles and amphibians, always collected them and stuff for myself. But I went to school for entomology, which is the study of insects, and kind of thought that's what my career path was going to be. But before I graduated, I decided I wanted to try to work in a zoo with reptiles. And it just so happened there was a position open here at Riverbanks Zoo, and I applied for it, got it right as I was graduating, and been here ever since. Well, we do all kinds of things here at Riverbanks. We take care of the animals. Obviously, that's our main focus, but we do a lot of breeding projects with our reptiles, with our amphibians. We do local reptiles and amphibians like gopher frogs. We'll also focus on pine snakes. We're all over the map with what we do here at Riverbanks. So this is one of our adult pine snakes. He's been at the zoo for about 20 years. Pine snakes are really interesting. It's a species that you find in kind of the sandhills areas. There's a good population in Aiken County. And one of the reasons they're found there is this is one of the few species of snakes that can actually dig its own burrows. Most snakes cannot dig, but these guys are really good diggers. So they're a pretty secretive snake, so most people don't actually see pine snakes, so we don't really know how their populations are doing in South Carolina because they're underground most of the time. And then another interesting thing with pine snakes is they can vocalize, so they can make a really loud hissing noise. And they do that as a defensive tactic, so if they're cornered, they will kind of act like a venomous snake where they kind of coil up, they make this loud hissing, they'll also rattle their tail, so it makes them sound and look really dangerous. So a lot of cool things about pine snakes. We do have these guys on exhibit, and we've had them on exhibit for basically the whole time our building's been open. And we breed them pretty much every year, and we have been releasing all of our offspring in certain areas that are controlled by SCDNR. And we hope to, at some point, be able to come up with a more structured program where maybe we'll do some tracking of these snakes and kind of see what's going on with the populations, because we really have no idea, how prevalent these snakes are in South Carolina. I think a lot of us get into this field because we love the animals, so just being able to work with them, get hands on them is really rewarding and enriching, but also we're in it because of the environment. Conservation is an incredibly important aspect of everything we do here. The habitats that these animals are in, a lot of them are disappearing. People can have their own impacts on conservation just by what they do when they're out in the wild, and encourage the protection of our heritage preserves. Go to these heritage preserves, see what the natural fauna and flora is, because there's lots and lots of cool stuff out there. And trying to conserve our environments and our species, and Riverbanks encourages that. And so we all get to be involved in a lot of projects that help do that, to conserve the animals, to conserve habitats and things like that. So that's really one of the best parts of my job.